Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders. It is Sunday, December 1st, first day of the last month of the year. And yeah, so we came off a very short week last week. Obviously, hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving, all our US friends and members. And you can see here how Friday we went out at close to 1 o'clock on the Friday, pretty light volume, and you can see we sold off into throughout the day pretty much on the S&P. And some of that was the sentiment after the White House signed that Hong Kong bill supporting the protesters, which China didn't take kindly to. So, but we haven't had any bad news, any sort of follow-up. China did say they were going to retaliate. We haven't heard anything. So at this point, the futures are pointing to a higher open. So we'll see if that holds, or if some news comes in overnight, but I would expect the markets to come back. I think there was just some selling in anticipation of maybe there was going to be some news over the weekend. So again, it's a pretty news-driven market at this point. See what what groups were doing well. You can see everything was down on the day on Friday, but over the week, healthcare and services. Healthcare was the #1 performer of the month. November, industrial goods, consumer goods, technology was up there as well. So those are the ones that still are strong. Conglomerates and utilities are really taking a beating with the interest rates coming up a little bit, and obviously, I'm not sure why the conglomerates are down. Anyway, let's take a look at the indexes here. Start out with transports. I like to see a confirmation of, moves higher, and especially in the Dow. But you can see here the transports really haven't confirmed sort of the Dow's breakout, which is kind of interesting. You can see here the transports are struggling once, twice, 3 times, tried to get through this level, failed. Maybe we are going to get a bit of a flag here and then push higher, so we'll keep an eye on that as confirmation for the bull market to continue. And let's just see what 10 years, again, I kind of feel like we're chopping in this range, although maybe we're going to start to turn up again here on the yield, which will mean the utilities should drop a little bit more as the yields go higher. So we'll just keep an eye on the utilities on the week. Again, we're kind of just no big move here. Again, just flag here, and I guess we'll just see where it goes. It's hard to say. RSI, nothing really to see there. So, and the Dow, of course, down on Friday. Let's take a look at the weeklies. Just look at the weeklies primarily. You can see here we did make a big new high, but pulled back significantly from that, and we're not overbought for sure. Both 50 and 200 are still moving higher. MACD maybe rolling over a little bit here. We are looking a little bit tired, so maybe we're getting a little toppy here. You can kind of see what happened when we broke out back in July. We ended up doing a bit of a pullback. So maybe we're getting into a bit of a toppy range here. People are just waiting to see if that China deal is going to happen. And you can see here, this is the one index that's still looking pretty good. It did make a new high from back here in 2018. We did break out of this trading range. It's something I told people to watch for. We did do a little flag here and then break out. I think of all the indexes, this one sort of looks most promising for a continuation, maybe move back up to sort of a 170 level. TNA would be a good way to play that. RSI is rising. Yeah, it all looks good. TNA. The Qs, again, sort of same story as the Dow. Pulled up, new high, pulled back a bit. This still looks pretty strong, though. RSI is getting up into the overbought area. And the SPY, sort of the same deal, still breaking out, same as the NASDAQ. Volume dropping off, but it was a short week. Pretty much the same story with all the indexes. Dollar doesn't look, kind of looks stuck in this range. Had a big pullback on Friday. Let's take a look on the weekly just to see if we can see anything different. It kind of looks like it did try to break out here. We had this pullback, broke out, but now we're just we're not really following through here. So we may be just stuck in this range. That's what I'm thinking. Let's take a look at the VIX quickly. VIX actually, with the sell-off on Friday, came back up, and we'll see what happens here. I mean, this is a pretty congested chart right in this area, so we may have trouble getting through 13. Again, if we gap up tomorrow and continue higher, we'll probably end up right back down below 12 again. So it's just going to depend on where the markets go. Let's take a quick look at what we've got. Actives quickly. Baidu got involved back around 117 when it broke out of this range. It's doing a bit of a pullback. Did sell some up here, 120, and I'm hoping we can continue to move higher here. RSI is kind of rolling over. I've just got a little bit left of that. I've sold most of it. MO has been a great performer. I think it got involved. Can't remember. It actually was. I've been holding it for some time, but I was looking at it in my portfolio. It's up like 17%. Again, it looks it's right up into some areas of prior resistance here. So I may just, still got a little bit, so I'm just going to hang on to it. OPGN, this was my little kind of weird trade. Don't usually trade stocks under $5, but decided I kind of like the double bottom here set up, and then maybe we'll get a move higher up to I'm hoping we get to 165, sort of in that range. That would be a nice move on that stock, nice percentage gain. So again, just like the setup on it, although I'm not keen on trading stocks under $5. Square, we filled the gap here, and now we're getting some stalling action. I've sold most of that. I picked that up when we broke out here, and sold stuff as we got up into close to 70. Did we get to 70? Not quite. So I'm just holding on to some of this. We kind of broke through this 200-day moving average. If we start to pull back underneath it again, I'll probably bail on what I have left, which isn't a lot. But had a nice little pop on that one. I've got a little bit in an account. Pays a good dividend, but unfortunately we had a bit of a drop there on some news. But I can just, like I said, I'm sort of holding on to that one. Let's take a look at the watches quickly. Beyond Meat has been popping me up here. You can see it put in a double bottom. Missed out on the double bottom buying that trade, but I think we're up into an area here where if we can get moving, we could get back to sort of this area, filling this gap here at 97, 90. What is the low on this? 96. So 82 to 96 would be a good risk to reward. We'd obviously have some resistance here at 90. But I keep an eye on that on Monday for some kind of price action. Might be taking it higher. Clovis has just been on a tear. Again, this has been the tail of the tape over the last week or two when we had that buyout of Novartis with Medco. A lot of the biotechs, especially some of the smaller cap ones, really started to rip. Clovis was one of them. I think Myove was another one. Yeah, so we've had some pretty nice price action here on some of these biotechs. This looks super extended, and the RSI is really overbought here. Big building volume every day, so I'm sure that'll still be in play tomorrow. But watch for some of the other biotechs. If you've got your favorite biotech, take a look and see if it's caught the fever yet. You can see here LK made a really nice move. So we had a pop up, I believe that was an earnings pop, and then a bit of flag, and then another move higher. So doing this on this pullback. So maybe if we can hold this $30 range, 30.70. 30.60 is where the low on this thing. So if we do get a bit of a pullback below 30, might be worth a buy, and then holding on to it And if it does close below 29.50, I think there's more downside, but there could be a continuation move. RSI's come back here, volumes dropped off. So something to keep an eye on with LK. Nugget is just chopping right now. I can't, been in and out of it a bit. I'm thinking it's probably going to roll over again here, making a series of lower highs every bounce. We make a lower high. So you can see here, we're just seem to be on a trend lower and lower lows here. See lower low, kind of bottoming here. So maybe we're just gonna chop in this range. I don't see a trade here. Roku, this is what happens obviously when you get up into an area where there was prior resistance. You get some topping action and pulling back, and so I think we're kind of no man's land there. Semiconductors, just like to keep an eye on that. They seem pretty toppy here, maybe a double top, but again, if the market's the way they are, I don't see this selling off. I just see it consolidating. TBT, TLT, they're all trades based on interest rates. And again, they just seem to be kind of stuck here. TNA, as I mentioned, with the IWM small caps, I mean, this could be a push, could be a stock that will push higher if we get continuation on the small caps going higher. And just this chart is ugly. I just don't know how to trade that right now. Same with the energy stocks. They just seem to be super choppy in this range. I don't know if they're trying to figure out which way they're going to go here. So not worth an entry now. Xilinx, again, I was just watching this earlier. It does seem to be holding. Does seem to be wanting, keeps testing this level, this 89 again, 89.50, 90 was the low here, so could be an interesting entry around 90, and then 89.50 would be your stop. Close below 89.50, so maybe it could turn higher, although it is in an area of prior, as you can see here, prior resistance, and then it pulled back and broke through. Now it's finding support here. So there's a lot of upside there if it seems like it's going to turn. So it might actually be an interesting stock to keep an eye on. All right, well, that's it, everybody. Some stocks to watch: LK, maybe Xilinx, TNA for breakout. And we'll be watching those on Monday in the day trading room. This is my book in Amazon, How to Swing Trade. If you haven't checked it out already. And we'll see everyone in the Bear Bull Trading Room on Monday morning, bright and early, pre-market show with Carlos and Norm. And then we'll be into the trading day. Well, I hope everyone's had a good Thanksgiving Day weekend. Have a good one, everyone. Rest of your night, and we'll maybe see you in the room tomorrow. Bye for now.